I'm going to show you how to get A's and A+ ranks in Uma Musume Pretty Derby. So in order to do this, it's going to entirely depend on your support cards. Also, your sparks will matter, but they're not going to matter as much as support cards, at least this early on and everything. Eventually, you'll want your, sparks to all be 3-star, everything exactly the way you want. That also helps, obviously. But support cards are like the main thing. So I'm looking at someone right now. This is like rank 1 guy in the entire world. I think this is one of his characters. And you see what it takes to get rank 1 and A+, you need a crazy amount of stats. So in order to get a high rank and get A rank and above, you get bonus points towards that the higher a stat gets. So you want stats to be S tier as much as possible. It's better to have 2 stats that are S tier than to have 3 stats that are A. So it's better to try to get at least 2 over the 1,000 mark no matter what, and then everything else after that is as high as you can get it. Other than that, I mean, ideally 1,100 each, but whichever way will get you that's basically what you gotta do to get an A+. Also, skills have some weight as well, so getting those is definitely gonna help too, but not like by a crazy amount. It's mainly just stats, and like I said, getting 2 as high as possible. So in order to do this, you need good support cards. I can see this guy right here. He literally has like some of the best support cards in the game, and you can see he has level 45, level 50, level 50, level 50, level 50, level 50. And well, that one's borrowed, but hey, I bet you that this guy, he probably paid like hundreds or thousands of dollars in scout pools in order to do this. So obviously, you can just pay to win to get straight to A+, but I think most of you watching are trying to think of how do you do that without spending an insane amount of money, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to play the game, and when you do scout pools, your main goal is to get scouts, or that's, I mean, supports, not the trainees, okay? You get the trainees so that you can play, but then you want the support. So the trainee is, you can, unlock more stars with them eventually, and you'll want to do that too by getting star pieces through the daily shop and through the daily races and things under the race tab. And there's maybe a few other ways to get them. Whenever you can get them, you try to get them, but that's a long-term thing, and it doesn't even help that much. You can literally look here. It's look at how little the stat increase is for this character, right? It's like, okay, I can get, an extra overall, like an extra 50 stats or 80 stats or 100 stats or whatever. It's like, so it would help. That's not a big deal. The main thing is, oops, not star unlock. The main thing is the support cards. So the support cards, it's really, really important to focus on just a few things. So specialty priority is the most important thing. Like, this card is amazing. Not that it's the best in the entire game or anything, but it's really good because specialty priority is 50. It makes it more likely to appear for its own training. So stamina will appear on a stamina training, which lets you use the friendship bonus, which is the whole point of getting specialty priority. So specialty priority is most important, followed by the amount of the friendship bonus, and then mood effect, which makes it so if you're in a great mood, it'll increase the amount of stats you get. And then on top of that great mood, you'll get even more because of this mood effect. And that all stacks up to allow you to farm more stats. There's also some factors, and we're just knowing the best cards. You can look up tier lists online, but some of them have good, like, career events and things that'll help out as well. So all that factors in, but if you don't really know what's going on, the most important thing is just looking for specialty priority, friendship bonus, mood effect, and then fan bonus and race bonus are also nice, and initial friendship gauge can be nice too, because it can speed you up by a few turns, potentially. Maybe 3 turns on average, something like that. So just try to get as many as you can. Try to get them leveled up when you can. Uncap them and level up when you can, especially the ones that are better. And then after that, it's really going to come down to your sparks and your build. So if you go to the veterans and you go to the list and you look at some of these characters, you can look at their inspiration sparks. I have a whole video on sparks. So I'm not going to turn. I'm trying not to turn this into a 25-minute video explaining sparks as well. So you can go check out that video. But you're going to slowly work towards getting sparks that are good. So like in a perfect world, you would have, say, 3-star speed, 3-star speed, 3-star speed on the sparks. And then on the other legacy, you'll also have all speed, or you'll have speed on one and power on the other, or all 3 power, or all 6 power, whatever, But you're not going to get that for a long time. So focus mainly on just getting all the same at first, and then focus on getting it to be 2-star speed, 2-star speed, 2-star speed, and then eventually you'll slowly over time get 3% or 3-star speed. Because if you do it right, if you do a career mode correctly and get your speed up high enough, it's only a 2% chance of getting a 3-star speed. So it's a long-term thing to get 3-star. But getting 2-star, that actually is only like a, I don't know what it's like, a 10% chance or something if you do everything right in a thing. But you have to go watch my Sparks guide too. I don't want to explain all that again. It's a really long explanation. But yeah, so Sparks matter. And then also there's compatibility. Oh, I forgot that I was in the middle of a career. So I just canceled that one so I can show you guys this stuff. So there's other factors. There's compatibility. There's also some stuff right here. So when you pick your character, go to the details. you can see what stats they gain faster. So if you're just trying to get an A rank, this can help determine which stats they get. Now, if you're trying to build PvP, you might want to ignore this because some characters, they're terrible. So I think, is it Sakura? Yeah, Sakura is the speed int, which is great for trying to get an A rank because you can do the speed wit abuse strategy in order to have more turns to train. But then if you're trying to build A rank purposefully for team trials, not really a good idea because, you know, wit's good and all, but you don't need 1200 wit. Like, you need over 1000 speed, and then ideally you have 1000 speed, 1000 power, and like 600 speed. It depends on the race, right, and what characters you're doing. And so in order to get an A rank, you have to customize for the different characters. So for a sprinter, you're going to want, say, 3 or 4 speed scouts, and then you're going to want power scouts. And then you're going to want to try to get your speed and power up if you're trying to get A rank for PvP. You can also, like I said, try the cheese strategy of 2 or 3 wit cards and then 3 or 4 speed cards and try to get up to 1000 speed, 1000 wit, and by coincidence get your power up and stuff, and maybe good enough for an A rank. The big thing that's going to hold you back, though, is every character has a stamina check, and you have to balance that. And you have to decide if you want to build for it or not. It depends on the character. Some characters, they have bonus stamina gain, like plus 20% stamina gain. And so you could just try to get the 1000 stamina on them and have that be one of the main stats. You get stamina and speed cards, and that could be easy. But for some characters, you don't want to build stamina because they don't get bonus for anything like that. And so you just want to hit the minimum. So the minimum is based on the race. So if it's like this character, medium and long races, they need like 300 plus stamina by the end of the first year, and then they need like 500, 600 stamina by the end of the second year just to reliably beat career mode. So knowing that, you probably have to build speed stamina on one of these if you want any hope of getting an A rank on one of them, which will also make them good at PvP, so that's great. Some characters, like Oguri Cap, they have mild, medium, and long is their stamina check, but you can get skills to circumvent it, like the Hydrate and Gourmand and things like that. And that makes it you need less stamina, but you still got to get stamina. But you could get by with a strategy like for Oguri Cap. My strategy for trying to push for A rank is 4 speed or 3 speed scouts, and then 3 to 2 power scouts. And then whenever I train power, I do get stamina, and by the end, I'm slowly working my way up to like 300 stamina. And then maybe on summer break, the summer on the game, if there's like a turn where nothing's happening and I have extra stamina, I'll train stamina, get plus 20. And in the trainee phase, I'll just train a few staminas if it's going to get me good friendship bonus, just to try to get that stamina up enough, but then not have to have stamina cards. And that can help you out a lot for getting A rank. The other thing is affinity. There's an affinity calculator on Game Tora that you can look up. And when you put characters, them plus their parents, basically, they all add values based on their compatibility with the current character. And it's just a number. It just needs to get to 128 to get double circle. And so I can put these in here and see if there's any in here to get double circle just to see. But if you have good enough compatible characters, you can get double circle. Also, if they've won a bunch of G1 races, it gives them additional compatibility. So think of that when getting those sparks built out. But that's not the main requirement, but that'll get you bonus stats. So if you can get eventually sparks where it's like speed, all 2 stars, and they're all compatible, and you get the double circle, that's going to make it 10 times easier to get A rank. Because then you're going to start, like, by the end of the game, you're going to get, like, plus 300 stats or something total, or at least plus, like, 200 maybe stats total. And that's a big deal because, I mean, it's all about getting up to over 1,000, and if you can push something up faster and easier, then it's that much easier to get an A rank. All that matters for A rank is stats. I mean, fans, I don't know if it even has an effect. Like, if you get the legend status with the fans, it maybe has an effect, but I don't think it actually does. If it does, it's very minor. It's just all about stats. You can also, for the pink ones, try to have it be something like your main running style, so that way just all the races are easier to beat. That way, you don't end up in a scenario where you came in 3rd place in a race, and now you have to do a 2nd race for some career, and you lose a turn. It's literally, and this is the final take-home point, it is all about min-maxing your luck. There is nothing you can do if you get bad luck. So no matter what you do, if you're trying to get an A rank, especially if your support cards suck because your account's new and you don't want to spend a lot of money, there is nothing you can do about the luck. You have to try to min-max and work around it. But like, I've had runs before where I got the mood down event literally 9 to 10 times throughout the whole career, and I got like status effects like migraine and slacker and things like 3 different times. And if something like that happens, you are not getting an A run unless you have all level 50 cards. And even then, you may still not get an A run if your luck is bad enough. So you got to try to work with your luck as best you can. You got to min-max in the beginning. You got to try to build these friendships by training whichever ones have good friendships, like this one, for example. And as early as possible, when you have a break where it's like, okay, there's only 2 options. Like, for example, if, say, there's 2 trainees on power, or, say, 2 trainees on guts, and all the other ones have 1 trainee, then that would be my turn to train recreation to get it up to great as early as possible. Because if I get recreation up to great, in over 10 turns, the difference between normal and great in the early game is literally like 50 stats or something like that. So it literally pays itself off in, I think, like 5 turns, maybe, something like that, to go from normal to great just because of that mood effect bonus. If your cards had the mood effect bonus, it pays off really, really fast. And other than that, it's stamina or energy management. It's trying to get these friendships up early without having to jeopardize what stats you're training. Trying to get hints whenever possible without going out of the way in order to build the friendships faster. And then once the friendships are built, it's literally just training whichever stats. In my case, for this run, it would be speed and power whenever I get friendship bonuses, ideally 2 or 3, and trying to rest whenever it makes sense. Like, one good tip is, if I have multiple cards and I only have like 1 speed bonus or 1 power bonus to train on, but I'm kind of halfway on energy, I might just rest because, man, you couldn't believe the number of times that it's like, I'm like, well, I'll take the 1 friendship bonus at half. Then I'm down to where I'm no matter what going to fail the next time. And then next round, I get all 3 of my cards on a friendship bonus, and I could have gotten plus 60 speed if I would have trained it. And I'm like, well, that sucks. So, you got to try to make those decisions, but no matter what, those decisions are based on luck. But you're just trying to get it to where when you roll the dice, the odds are as in your favor as possible. And that's really all you got to do. And after that, it's just play and play and play and grind and grind and grind while building out your sparks. And then eventually you'll get an A. I would not focus on getting an A. I would focus on getting your sparks. And while trying to get the sparks, you will coincidentally end up getting A's eventually. That's the smarter way to play it. Like, if you're in a rush, you can try to grind it out, but it's not. You really should be working on sparks and to have A's come as a side effect. And that's everything I got for you in this video. Hopefully this will help you out, guys. Those are all the things that you got to do. That's all the things that, like, pro players and stuff are doing in order to get the A ranks. It's really impossible if you don't want to spend money. Not impossible. It just takes a long time because you got to get better support cards. The main thing you have control over as a free player is the sparks, because whether you're free to play or whether you're paying thousands of dollars, the spark system and building it out is identical and takes an identical amount of time. So you can check out my sparks guide for that if you want to check that out. But then if you want to spend money, it's the support cards, and that's how you get to A rank faster. Other than that, focus on your sparks, get A rank eventually. Hopefully this is able to help you out. Hopefully now you have a better idea of how to get A rank and above from career mode in Uma Musume Pretty Derby.